Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this HoneyKomb Brazy situation. Because earlier this morning, he went on social media and said a couple things, man. And it looked like he was taking shots at none other than Jay Prince Jr. Now, for those of you who don't know, HoneyKomb Brazy is a rap artist from Mobile, Alabama that went through a traumatic situation about 2 weeks ago that got covered on all news media platforms because of how horrendous it was. Now, two of his grandparents, or excuse me, his two grandparents, his grandmother, grandfather, were in their home and it got burned down allegedly by his ops. Now, there was debate about was it caused because of a, air tank blowing up because they were shooting at the house. But regardless, his grandparents ended up losing their life because of some crazy street situation that they probably had nothing or any inclination about. It was sad. It made national news, right? Now, HoneyKomb Brazy has been trying to deal with all the things that have come afterwards, man. You can see on his social media page that he changed his name, and he's also, man, he posted pictures of their wake, and it was somber to say the least. You saw the rapper Tech out there with him. They, took a lot of pictures, but they seemed like, they were putting closure to the situation. But HoneyKomb Brazy has been still trying to maintain himself as an artist in the rap game, and he's had several complaints on social media. Now, today, he came out and said a couple of things that were pointed at Jay Prince Jr. specifically, and since then, he's taken the post down, but man, let's break it down anyways, just so we get an understanding of the specifics of this situation. Now, before we do all that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go over this original post by HoneyKomb Brazy. Now, in this post, he had a lot to say about the rap game and rappers and how real they are. So let's look at it word for word. And we're going to have to improvise, a little bit because of the fact that he used some pretty colorful language. Now, HoneyKomb Brazy starts off by saying this. He said, "This rap game, all fake. I don't care who you think real. Get that out your mind, out your head. At the end of the day, it's going to be all on you. I'm just built different, 100% RN for L." So, you know what I mean? You know what that stands for. And basically what he's saying here is he's making complaints about how fake the rap game is. Now, I've made videos in the past where he's talked about this, and this was before the incident took place, and it was wild when he said it then, and it's even wilder that he says it now because the situation that he went through and why being real just might not be the realest thing you could ever be in the rap game. I mean, it's getting to the point where rappers are getting in situations every week, every other day, to where a lot of fans are starting to wish it was like back in the 90s or where, there was a rough street edge, but most of the dudes who rapped and talked about street stuff were kind of like on the reporting side of it. Today, we're like fully on in the trenches. Like, the cats who are really in the field are actually reporting and talking about what's going on. And that leads to serious situations that we've seen in rap, in hip hop. You got the King Von situation, FBG Duck, you got Mo 3, all of that going down because these cats really talked about what they live, you know what I'm saying? So that has some disastrous consequences for real. But he continued, man. He dropped a surprising post next that was aimed at Jay Prince. Now, like I said, he's taken this down since, and when I say Jay Prince, I mean Jay Prince Jr. That's the same Jay Prince Jr. that got into it with Joe Budden. And man, he said some surprising things, man, that might have brought some things to light about his current situation and how his label situation is helping out. Now, you see here, he actually tagged Jay Prince Jr. and he said, "Jay Prince Jr., I know you see your brother been calling you." And I have to improvise because you know what he said there. And basically putting a him emoji like, "What's up? Like, I thought you was down for your boy," and basically letting it be known that sometimes, I don't know if HoneyKomb Brazy is officially signed to Rap A Lot. He promotes Rap A Lot. I've never seen anything of him, signing any paperwork. I know Jay Prince Jr. has been working with him for his career, and he hollers mob ties, mob ties. But saying all that on the internet and seeing the potential for earning money off of your catalog in the future is different than an actual friendship and an actual relationship. You know, there's two sides to that. And somebody going through as traumatic a situation as HoneyKomb Brazy, you would think somebody, if they're really down for them, would actually reach out and say what's up. You know what I mean? And that's for real. And Jay Prince Jr. obviously has business interests with HoneyKomb Brazy, and HoneyKomb Brazy might have thought it was more than that, and that's why he's lashing out on social media. And that's perfectly fine, man. People have different expectations sometimes in business relationships and in personal relationships. You just got to outweigh the balances and make sure that you get out of it whatever you're looking for, and don't have your expectations not meet what the other person's expectations are. And things are cool, man. So HoneyKomb Brazy just came to a realization, obviously, that Jay Prince was really reaching out to him and in contact with him for money and business, man. And does that make Jay Prince fake? No, it doesn't, man. That just means they have separate interests. Now, HoneyKomb Brazy has since taken that post down. I'm sure once HoneyKomb Brazy put that out there and tagged it, people were probably, and tagged Jay Prince. People were probably hitting Jay Prince up like, oh man, HoneyKomb Brazy is lashing out. What's going on, man? I thought that was your artist. I thought y'all was down. But nah, man, it seemed like it was just a misunderstanding because he backed it up with these posts right here. Okay, so once again, we're going to improvise a little bit, but these are some of the points I believe he was trying to get out. Now, he said, rap cats scared of me, the record label slaving dudes, the O.Gs in the game scared to put me in position for real because they feel like I'm going to be a bigger O.G. than them. Because I know for a fact I'm too hard to just be sitting here. Hashtag freestyle king for real. And I'm not lying. In one line, I'm harder than any rap dude or any dude rapping all over the world. I'll bet my life on it. And I've been through way more stuff than a toilet. You know what he meant by that. And I'm still standing on all 10, never fold, never told, so y'all can tell me why all these so-called real cats in the game ain't messing with me for real. So let me break that down, man, and unpack that. So basically he's saying, man, he feels like he has too many skills, you know, with those long freestyle videos and stuff that he does, to just be sitting and waiting, man. And like I said, I was covering HoneyKomb Brazy way before the situation that took place, man. I had already done videos about him. And, you know, he was talking some different stuff than he's kind of talking now, but it's almost, it's similar. And basically what he's saying is even the cats in the game that are so-called O.Gs won't put him in the game because they're scared of losing their position. And a lot of the dudes in the rap game are scared to help put him on or put him in the game because out of fear that he's going to expose that they're not real. And, you know, that's saying a lot. And that's a lot of people to talk about, man. But I think HoneyKomb Brazy, and this is just my personal opinion, I think there's a position in the rap game for him, obviously, man. He's got a lot of followers. He's been able to do things as far as like post videos and get a lot of views. So, man, him finding a way to monetize all that, man, is all based on his potential and what he can do. Now, his expectations between his relationship with Jay Prince, I can only speculate. I don't know what their relationship is. So, man, I really can't talk about that in depth, man. What I can say is, you know, what he's saying out here in my interpretation of what he feels. You know what I mean? Now, he continued by this post right here, this caption that he put on the post. The post, he said this. He said, it's been Alabama cats popping. They don't really mess with nobody for real, though. And this cat who knows for a fact you real, they can feel it in their heart, but they still won't heart your pick industry stuff. I don't care for it. Half of everybody who got a name in the rap game bump my stuff daily. They just don't let the world know. But I said all that I could say. Watch how God work. Hashtag RN4L. Hashtag rap a lot. Hashtag mob ties business. So I'm assuming that he probably already talked to Jay Prince because he took the post down from earlier where he called him out and tagged him in it. And then he's repping rap a lot and mob ties again. So it looks like, man, maybe they just came to a reconciliation on whatever the issue was. And he still doesn't like the fact that other rappers in Alabama don't shout him out and post him and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of dudes who are popping in Alabama right now. You got Young Blue. You got Rilo Rodriguez. Man, you got No Cap. You got a lot of dudes who are popping out of Alabama. And a lot of them are from his city, Mobile. So I don't know the politics or whatever the streets are in Mobile, but it seems like he feels a little way about them not shouting him out because he feels that they're probably at home bumping his music, knowing they like his music, but still won't show him any love in front of social media or in front of the world. Now, that's an interesting situation because a lot of rappers, man, they don't want to play themselves out of position. And him being real or maybe even pushing that card and being able to say, hey, I'm realer than them later on, I mean, maybe they just don't want to put themselves in that situation later on either. I mean, think about it. You know, if some dude has been through all these things and he can prove that and you can see it in your face and then you're saying the same thing and you're really not about that, yeah, man, the fans are going to gravitate towards him. And I think that's the point he's trying to get across. Now, what do you guys think, man? This video's ran rather long, but do you think that HoneyKomb Brazy is maybe just having some, regular rapper issues, label issues that he's voicing on social media? Or do you think there's a deeper conspiracy to keep him out of the game? You know what I mean? I think the first one, man. You see a lot of rappers go through this all the time. And it just takes getting over that hump with one hit or whatever, and then everybody messes with you. And that's really probably what he should focus on. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.